There are times in life, and this is undeniable. People don't really like to deal with this area or talk about it, but I really don't shy away from too many topics. There are times in life when you're just dealt a bad hand. You know, my grandfather used to always say you have to find the courage to play the hand you've been dealt because the deck is getting shuffled all the time. It's just no way around it. There are times in life when that doggone deck gets shuffled and your cards just come up. I can't do much of anything with these cards except hold them. It's just a bad hand. Life will do that. I am going to share some advice with you that I wish some years ago when I was just dealt a bad hand and life just took a turn into the bad zone. I wish someone would have gotten my attention and really shared these words with me. When life turns bad, when you're in a bad pocket, a bad period of time, it may last 3 weeks, it may last 3 years, it may last 10 years, I don't know. You have one main job, and I'm a real fan of the one-step process. That's why generally I give you one step for things. You have one thing to do, and this is true and this is simple. When it's bad, do everything that you can not to make it worse. Again, here's the step. When things turn bad, and sometimes we can't help it, they do everything you can to hold your ground and not make it worse. When things turned upside down for me, it's a crazy time in life. I was isolated, slipping into depression financially. The bottom was dropping out. I mean, even in terms of my geography, I was living in a place that was depressing. And had someone just shared this advice with me, it would have made a huge difference. And I'll tell you what I did the wrong way. Give you examples. When the tide shifted, I was at my ideal weight. And after I got through this ordeal, I was 30 pounds heavier. Now, it seems simple. You know, I got my weight back down, but that's not the point. The point is I made it worse. I let my nutrition and my eating, it just went to pots. That's one thing that I could have done, even though the situation was bad. Pay attention. Okay, you can't afford your gym membership. You can walk. You can walk. You don't have to sit here and, eating extra pasta, what have you. So that's one example. Another example, I was already living in kind of a bleak, depressed area. Instead of when the phone would ring, there was, a dinner invitation. Friends would say, you want to come out, you want to take a drive, get away for the day. Instead of saying, this will get me out of the house, I'm not crazy about this place anyway, I became a hermit. I literally became a hermit for nearly a year because the weight of the bad situation had just gotten on top of me. That's another example. Give you a third example. Finances weren't exactly where they should have been. Had a budget been respected, a tight, strict budget, it would have made things a whole lot better. I made them worse because I wanted to rebel and do what I wanted to do for a space and time. And I'm, 3 simple examples, everything taken together. All I had to do was stand my ground, not make it worse. Not make it worse, because as the deck gets shuffled and give you a bad hand, it can get shuffled again and you can get a brilliant hand. And the problem is, when you're in the bad zone or going through bad times and you take it upon yourself to make it worse, you're not necessarily going to be ready to play that brilliant hand when it comes. You're going to have to do some fancy footwork and catch-up work to do that. So hear me and hear me well. Whether you're going through something with a relationship, whether you're going through something with your health, any number of things, the list goes on and on. If it's bad, if it's really bad, focus on one thing Ask yourself one question: what can I do day to day to not make this worse? And I promise you, you're going to get a lot of traction. Thank you so much. This has been Inspirational Shorts with Sheila.